Superheroes. You know them. Maybe you love them, maybe you're sick and tired of them, but no one can deny the chokehold they've had on the media industry for the last several decades. DC dominated both the big and small screens with movies like Batman '89 and Superman the Movie, and shows like Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, and Static Shock taking up WB's Saturday morning cartoon block. Marvel wasn't too far off, creating the endlessly popular Spider-Man and X-Men trilogies in the early 2000s before hitting the ultimate jackpot that was Iron Man 2008, kickstarting the MCU as we know it today. All this to say, we've seen a lot of adaptations of these characters over the years. You might have heard the term superhero fatigue going around recently. It's not a secret that the MCU has hit a bit of a roadblock with its most recent outings, boasting some of the lowest box office numbers the franchise has ever had. And it's not hard to see why. Nostalgia is great and all, and it has its appeal, but I can only sit through so many movies where, holy shit guys, it's Red Skull from the 1990s Captain America TV movie that looks like a hot Cheeto crossbred with chlamydia. Isn't that cool? Is the whole premise. DC isn't off the hook either. At least the cameos the MCU gets are of living people. Yes, I'm looking at you, The Flash 2023, burn in hell. Granted, James Gunn seems to be steamrolling ahead on the right track of turning DC's cinematic future around with back-to-basics projects like The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and the upcoming Superman Legacy, and Matt Reeves' The Batman franchise is pretty unanimously celebrated as one of the most original takes on the Caped Crusader and his mythos yet. But overall, it seems the public just doesn't want to see superhero media anymore. Which is what I would be saying if that wasn't a complete lie. Superheroes aren't the problem, nor is recasts, streaming services, or wokeness. Seriously, what the hell does that even mean? Or any of the other common answers to superhero fatigue. No. It's a problem of blandness. I mean, comics are some of the most overabundant and well-detailed sources of fiction out there. Next to only mythology and, like, maybe the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I swear to God, this man cannot stop. Yet, comic book movies have barely even scratched the surface of the endless storytelling potential available. And look, I get it. Characters like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man are simply too iconic to not be featured in films, and everyone wants their shot at being the next Joker or Dr. Bong. Real character, by the way, look it up. But comic book films have lost the sauce that it once had. You used to go see superhero movies for their incredible visual effects and larger-than-life action sequences. Even the ones that had absolute garbage stories at least had something nice to look at. Now we get this. This. And this.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way!
Now, don't take this as me attacking the CGI artists who did these effects. I know that those turnarounds are absolutely brutal, and you're doing the best with what you can. I respect you. But it sort of begs the question, if comic book movies are meant to be visual artistry, then why are we so insistent on confining the genre to such a limited sphere? Live action certainly has its merits, but aren't superheroes supposed to extend beyond reality? They heighten our senses, push past the limits of humanity, and achieve greater. Huh. I wonder if we have a medium for that. Animation. Literally what drove kids to superheroes in the first place, animation has proven time and time again that there are some stories that you can only tell with a pen and paper. Despite this, however, animation still tends to fall into one of two categories: animated kids show or raunchy adult comedy. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with animated superhero shows that are aimed at kids. They're the reason that most fans are even here in the first place. Batman the Animated Series is still the peak of Batman adaptations, Spectacular Spider-Man is still continuously being asked for to be revived to this day, and Teen Titans gave us the absolute menace that was Slade. But it's a lot harder to tell stories with dark consequences when you have a studio breathing down your neck trying to make you adhere to a family-friendly policy. You could always go the route of raunchy comedy like HBO Max's Harley Quinn or episodes of The Boys Diabolical, but you can only tell so many jokes about sex and drugs and over-the-top gore before you have to put some meat on your bones and give the audience something to care about. So let's talk about from relatively obscure Image Comics run to an animated streaming series that took the world by storm for its exemplary voice performances by Stephen Yeun as struggling high school student Mark Grayson, and J. Jonah Jameson himself, J.K. Simmons, as interplanetary conqueror masquerading as Superman clone Omni-Man, It takes what the boys had accomplished 2 years prior with hyper-violent live-action superhero deconstructions and transitions it over to animated form, giving us an equally emotional and disturbing tale of perseverance as Mark deals with the growing pains of becoming a teen superhero, while also dealing with his dad, kinda being a murdering son of a bitch. Invincible just finished its second season run and is currently the #1 most streamed show on Amazon Prime, so it's relatively safe to say that the public wants more of this. What I personally love about Invincible compared to shows like The Boys, which I still love, don't get me wrong, is that Invincible is not afraid to be a superhero show. This isn't a bad versus worse storyline, no. Mark is actively struggling to do good in a world where actions have serious consequences. It's the Spider-Man dilemma put up to 11, and it really works because it feels like you're watching real characters. The show is practically a direct adaptation of the comics, which I think works wonderfully for what Invincible is. Just imagine for a moment if we had something in this art style with this level of care for, say, I don't know, a character like Superman. Wait, we do? Oh, damn. My Adventures with Superman. Released in 2023 on HBO Max and Adult Swim, My Adventures with Superman is a similarly animated show to Invincible, telling a unique spin on the Man of Steel that both respects the source material, while also completely redesigning much of Superman's mythos to fit a modern representation inspired by shonen anime. Clark's supporting casts like Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane are given complete design overhauls that are much welcome takes on their comic counterparts. Very welcome indeed. While villains like Amanda Waller, Deathstroke/Agent Slade Wilson, and Parasite are given new designs and power sets to reflect a DC world that is still in its growing phase, but still is as equally intriguing. The show only has 1 season as of this video, with another on the way, but once again shows how the medium of animation elevates even the most iconic of characters by giving us complex fights, beautiful backgrounds, and outlandish concepts that, while you could achieve them in live action, still doesn't entirely compare to what you can accomplish in animation. But Jay, I hear you saying, aren't you forgetting about the most popular and commercially well-received animated superhero film? The one that just got a sequel with another on the way? You know. The whole point you're making this video in the first place? Yes, my dear viewer, I hear you loud and clear. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate is... Wait, y'all hear that? Oh no, I think he's here. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse are Sony's magnum opuses as of late, practically revolutionizing the animated film world, and the sequel boasting the title as longest American animated film. The trilogy follows Miles Morales, adapted from the Ultimate Spider-Man comic run of 2011, where Peter Parker is killed in a battle with the Green Goblin, forcing a newly bitten Miles to band together with the Spider-People of different universes to save not only his world, but the multiverse as a whole. Now, I could gush on and on about how good the writing of these films are, how good the voice performances are, how good the animation is. But I'm editing this for a class, and I don't want to yap for 2 hours straight, so I'll keep it short. The main thing that makes the Spider-Verse movies work is a little thing called passion. Amazed I'd be saying that about Sony of all companies. Every frame and every shot of these films is painstakingly crafted with the most attention to detail I've seen in anything ever. I mean, Across the Spider-Verse created models for 280 unique Spider-People to pepper a scene that takes up only a fraction of the runtime. And that's on top of several gorgeous settings, all with unique animation styles, art designs, and inspiration taken from every Spider-Man iteration that has come before. That's dedication, and that's exactly what the comic book movie industry is severely lacking. You can tell immediately that every single person involved with these projects are fans committed to creating something that's actually meaningful and entertaining for all audiences. Kids will love the colorful visuals. Adults will love the clever humor courtesy of Phil Lord and Chris Miller. And fans will love spotting the endless references to Spider-Man's extensive history through comics, films, television series, and even the weird promotional material. I don't throw around the word perfect when it comes to films, especially superhero ones, but I truly believe that the Spider-Verse films are about as close as you could possibly be, at least for a Spider-Man movie. Beyond the Spider-Verse is still in development after being delayed from its original release date, so there's always the chance that Sony could drop the ball. But I'm fairly certain that they've set themselves up well for a satisfying conclusion. Please don't make me eat my words, Sony, please, please, please. But only time will tell. So, is animation the key to finally defeating the dreaded superhero fatigue? Well, it's hard to say. Animation can surely cover a lot of ground that live action can't cover, but if you aren't working with a good story or people who care about delivering the best possible product, you run the risk of having all your hard work fall to the wayside. That being said though, I do wholeheartedly believe that the key to escaping superhero fatigue truly lies in experimentation. Comic books especially are some of the most versatile forms of media available, so try new things. I know companies don't want to take risks on obscure IP and risk creating more tax write-offs, risk losing more money. Whew, saved it. But as projects like Invincible show, the general audience is more than ready for something new and fresh. Doesn't mean that you can't still utilize nostalgia if you're that insistent on it. X-Men 97 on Disney Plus is a prime example of modernizing a previous project while still staying true to the spirit of the original show you're continuing. It's like dealing with a picky child who doesn't want to eat their vegetables, but there's a million of them. And they're always angry.
Shut up!
But if you keep giving them the same food over and over, they're going to eventually get tired of it. And that's what I think is happening now. Instead of always going for the chicken tenders, let's try adding a little variety in this comic book movie pyramid, shall we? Anyway, that's all for today's video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts down below, and remember to stay geeky. Thanks for watching.